does Hideo Kojima get his ideas? In this podcast, we take a deep dive into his brain and shed light on his creative process. Hideo Kojima presents Brain Structure.
こんにちは、小島秀夫です。ポッドキャストプログラムHideo Kojima Presents Brain Structure.
Hello, I'm Hideo Kojima, here with the podcast program Hideo Kojima Presents Brain Structure. And with me is my partner for this episode.
Brain's here. I'm looking forward to talking with you today.
Let's get started.
Season 1 is nearing the end, isn't it?
あら、シーズン1終わり。
Ah, season 1 is almost over? Will there be a season 2?
Will there be?
どうなんですかね。
Who knows?
Today we are, once again, recording from the studio at Kojima Productions. And since season 1 is wrapping up, why not take a look back at this season so far?
そうですね。
Yeah, sure.
Like a recap episode.
シーズン1を振り返る。
We've been doing this since September, haven't we? It's not easy doing this every week.
大変ですよね、なかなかね。
Yes, we've been doing this for quite a while. Today, you've also selected some music for us again. Is there a theme to your selection?
最近買ったアルバムで。
Yes, it's music from albums I've purchased recently. They're songs that I listened to in my youth and when I was still a student. These albums are 35, 40, 45-year deluxe anniversary albums. I like to play a selection from some of these albums. For me, it's the music of my youth, and for those listening, there may be some pretty nostalgic songs too. Some listeners might hear these songs and become fans. These bands and musicians have grown older just as I have, so there aren't any young artists, but I like everyone to listen to them.
Wonderful. This is one of Spotify's strengths, helping people find new music. Let's travel back in time to Mr. Kojima's youth.
青春時代。はい。
My youth.
On this Spotify podcast, premium members can listen to the songs in full, while free members can listen to 30 seconds of it. If you want to hear the full song, please consider joining as a premium member. Let's start with our first song before we look back at season 1.
1曲目。The Cure という僕大好きなバンド。
The first song is by a band I love, The Cure. This song is from midway through their career, not their early days. The album is called Wish, and it was released in 1992, so 40 years ago? This is my favorite album of theirs.
That would be 30.
30周年で
All right, 30 years ago. It was their 30th anniversary. I bought the album that came with a lot of bonus items. And actually, the song that I picked out isn't my favorite song. It's my second favorite. I think everyone will recognize this song. It's called Friday, I'm in Love. Let's start with this one.
Sunday always comes too late, but Friday never hesitates. Dressed up to the eyes, it's a wonderful surprise to see your shoes and your spirits rise. Throw out your frown and just light up the sound. Seek as a sheep spinning round and round. Always take a big bite, it's such a gorgeous sight to see you eat in the middle of the night.
これね、1992年、ものすごい。
Back in 1992, I was actually super busy with work, but I still regularly visited record shops. And this song was playing at one of the shops I visited. I was like, oh, new song by The Cure, and I bought it.
Well, that was our first song for the episode. You're listening to Hideo Kojima Presents Brain Structure. Today, we're taking a look back at our first season.
はい。
Yes.
First of all, what has it been like working with Spotify to bring the Brain Structure podcast to listeners around the world? It's been about 6 months now.
もう一瞬でしたね。なん
It
か
went by so quickly.
In the blink of an eye?
はい。音楽もかけれて。
Yeah, we were able to play music and stream it in both English and Japanese. No one else is doing that.
It's amazing.
最初はもうね、どうなること
At first, I wasn't sure it would work out, but we have been able to pull it off thanks to the staff's hard work.
The response has been good too.
そうですね。
Yes, it has.
The fans have been wonderful. And this podcast has been the subject of headlines and used as a news source too. Let's not forget about our first guest, Mr. Oshii.
これはもうね、一番好きな回ですよ。
That was my favorite episode. I still laugh when I listen to it now. I don't think many people knew that Mr. Oshii was that chatty. We even talked about doing a second episode,
What will you talk about next time?
いやもっとやばい話
probably even more crazy stuff.
あれは結構いろんな人から
Many people have said that to me. They've asked me to talk about even crazier stuff.
Then we can look forward to that in season 2. Let's play back just a little bit of it.
これでも笑い死にするかもしれません
I might die laughing.
Let's give it a listen.
覚悟してください電車
Well,
で聞いてる人
prepare yourselves, especially if you're listening to this on the train.
Here it is.
だからさ、デサストをさ、やってて思ったんだけど、
When I was playing Death Stranding, I realized that I was probably the worst person in the world to play Death Stranding. Because I don't want to connect with people.
だっておじさんオフラインでやってた
Mr. Oshii, you even went as far as to only play it offline.
オフラインでやってたから。で、確か250時間ぐらいやっ
Yeah, I played it offline. I think I played around 250 hours. And then I got frustrated and busy and I stepped away from it. Once you step away from a game, it's hard to pick it up again. But I really enjoyed the game, Death Stranding. If I were to put it into my own words, I think video games are a device to discover how people play. They never play exactly the way the creator intended. People come up with new ways to play. That's the best part of it. So when I heard that you'd play as a porter in the game, it made perfect sense to me. I've played a lot of open world games, but I've hardly played the story part. I kindly declined all the missions too.
歩いてるだけとか
You just walk around then.
だから散々さ、走り回ったわけ。
Yeah, I just ran around everywhere, leaving my deliveries behind and just walking around. I tried going to the very top of mountains. I liked running along the coastline. The scenery was really unique. One thing that I thought was really cool about the world was that suddenly you could just feel the presence of death everywhere. After that thing gets defeated, it turns into a human hand-shaped mushroom. When you run around with that fetus in a pod, it's like you're straddling the line between life and death. It's always raining too, so it really feels like you're in the underworld. It really hooked me. I am interested in the story. The story is really elaborate and detailed. But I'm sorry, I only follow the story on YouTube.
これな、皆さんそういう。
Please, everyone, don't do that.
あんまりおすすめできないんだけど、
I can't really recommend it either.
Mr. Oshii says that you should play offline and just watch the story on YouTube.
Most people don't finish the game, right? Maybe 50 or 60 hours? I'm pretty stingy, so I want to get the most that I can out of the game.
これすごい問題発言ですよ
So
ね
many controversial remarks.
It was a great episode.
これネット上で駆け巡りましたから
It made the rounds on the internet. Mr. Oshii playing the game entirely offline and just watching the story on YouTube.
He played 250 hours, but watched the whole story on YouTube. It was really interesting that he thinks games are a device for discovering how to play games.
そうですねまあそれが本来あるべきですね
That's how it should be. I mean, we direct some of how the game should be played, but the rest is up to the users to invent and discover.
It was a very Mr. Oshii-esque episode. Afterwards, he came to visit Kojima Productions, right?
来ていただいて
Yes, he visited, and we got to do the long-awaited 3D scan of him.
Which means
なんかに出るかもしれません
He might appear somewhere. He could be someone just walking around and you run into him if you're playing offline. He won't be part of the story.
someone you meet randomly. I think Mr. Oshii said that he wanted to talk about Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, when he has another chance.
そうですねおしさんファントムペインの大ファン
That's right, Mr. Oshii is a big fan of Phantom Pain. Apparently, he's logged hundreds of hours on that one too, but we weren't able to talk about it last time. So hopefully, we can have a second round in season 2.
That's pretty much settled then, right? I heard that things are moving forward positively. Anyways, let's get back to music again. What are we going to listen to next?
はいこれは40周年記念かな
Yes, this was their 40th anniversary, 1982, from Dexy's Midnight Runners. They're famous for the song, Come On Eileen. It's the album that includes that song, but they released a deluxe edition for the 40th anniversary, so I bought it. This is a song I like from it called Old.
So
年記念はこのサブタイが全部ついてます。
The 40th anniversary album has a comment on all the songs.
As it should have sounded in 2022. So it was probably remastered, and they're trying to say this is how it should have sounded.
これのオールド版ですね、これ。
This version of old. There's also a 3-disc edition, I think, with a lot of bonus content.
I see. Please check it out. Also, please give it a listen on Spotify.
Spotify もありますからね、この40周年も。
And Spotify has the 40th edition version too.
Yes, it does. As well as The Cure, which we listened to earlier. You're listening to Hideo Kojima Presents Brain Structure. Today, we're taking a look back at our first season. Next, let's talk about the 2022 hit film Nope by Jordan Peele.
Nope.
Nope.
懐かしいですね、それ。
Saying that brings back memories.
I think you wanted that word to trend for a while.
いやいや。
No.
Nope and RRR could have taken the prize for Trending Words of the Year award. And you even had a conversation with Jordan Peele himself. Let's remember back and take a listen.
I played a Metal Gear Solid 2, a character, and pardon me if you've done more with this character, but it's one that has stuck out in my mind as something of particular genius. And I think you might know who I'm talking about. It's Fortune, the character called Fortune. And I remember that being a really profound character to ever see in gaming, but it's stuck with me in an impactful way. Somebody who wanted to die and couldn't, and that was the problem. That was the violence and the threat that they possessed was this tragic one. And so I just wanted to say how much I love that character.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you so much. Well, the idea of her came about when I was thinking about luck and how a person's degree of happiness is the same throughout one's life. Of course, there's misfortune too. But I began to think that the amount of luck in a person's life is all the same. So, Fortune, the character, has all the luck in the world while on the battlefield and ends up using all of her luck there. So, in normal day-to-day life, she is struck by misfortunes. What I wanted to say was, I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who think to themselves, I'm really unhappy right now. Maybe you were born into poverty or you don't have any very nice parents. But if you think that maybe everyone's fortune level is the same, you can feel a little better. And that's why I made that character. No matter what country you were born in, what ethnicity, what household, everyone is different, but everyone's total sum of fortune is the same. So don't give up. That's the message I wanted to convey through this character. I'm happy you asked.
So Jordan Peele really liked the character that you made, Mr. Kojima.
これはツイッターで
We followed each other on Twitter and had talked online just a bit. We only met for the first time the day of recording, but we became friends after about 5 minutes of talking.
That is an amazing thing.
たまにそういう人いるんですよね。はい。
Sometimes you meet people like that. When I visited LA recently, he showed me his studio and we got to know each other even better. We talked about working on something together at some point.
What will you make?
ちょっとね、これかな。
That's for the future. He has his own studio just like me. He doesn't work alone. He has staff that he pays salaries to. That's something we have in common.
So you think you will really be able to collaborate on something then?
なんかできると思う。
I think we can. He's a really smart guy.
Another example of how brain structure was able to deepen a friendship.
ブレインストラクチャーのおかげで
We might be able to make something thanks to this podcast with the tagline, presented by Brain Structure.
That would be great.
僕と彼は背景は違うにしても
Even though our backgrounds are different, as fellow creators, we have a similar perspective. So it's like we share a common language. It's easy to communicate with him.
Wow. So you have a common understanding without words?
そうです。一言言うと理解してくれるので。
Yes, to put it simply, he gets me. There aren't a lot of people like that out there. We don't have a language barrier. It's the same with Nicholas Refn.
That's great. So perhaps in season 2, or in another future season, we'll be able to reuse this sound bit talking about how this podcast initiated your project together. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
はいはい。シーズン2みんな聞きたいって、ね、
Yes, yes.
言うてくれな。
Everyone needs to push for a second season.
Everyone listening, please send in your messages right away
どこに送るんですか？
Where would they send them?
in the message form of the Spotify episode description.
役員様みたいな。
Like to the board members of Spotify?
Well, if they send it using the message form, the people at Spotify will definitely see it, and the message will reach us too. Anyways, let's go for another song.
1982年。
This is from the 1982 album Avalon, the last album released by Roxy Music. I also bought Brian Ferry's solo album Taxi, which also had its 40th anniversary version. It came out on LP, not on a CD. This is a pretty famous song, so I think all of you would recognize it. But I want everyone to know more about Roxy.
The CD jacket is cool too, right?
ね。まあでも後期のブライアン・フェリーはこういう歌い
It
方ですけ
is.
ど、前曲
Anyways, this is how Brian Ferry sounded near the end, and it's totally different from when he started. When Brian Eno was still in the band, there was a more punk vibe to it. Anyways, from the album Avalon, here is More Than This.
You just listened to More Than This from Roxy Music. This was a hit song.
そうですね。はい。
Ah, yes, yes, it was.
Did you listen to a lot of Roxy music in your youth?
うん、そうですね。まあ僕結構後半なんですよ。
Yes, I did. But I discovered them in their later years after they had shifted more towards pop. Apparently, the fans weren't very pleased about the direction.
Really?
ストラングラーズとかも結構後期。
Same thing with the Stranglers, too. They turned to pop music in their later years. But I guess that's just what the music scene was in that age.
I see. Well, let's continue to reminisce. This time with the Indian master, Mr. S.S. Rajamouli.
はい。RRRR.
Yes, R, R, R. I think this will probably get an Academy Award.
It certainly feels like it.
行きますね。肩車みたい
It
な。
will. They'll get on everyone's shoulders. If he gets an award, I want him to come out on someone's shoulder.
If you watch the movie, you'll understand. Let's play a bit from your conversation with him.
Okay.
Mr. Rajamouli, have you ever thought about designing a game? Do you have any interest in anything like that? Or have any inspirations from seeing Mr. Kojima's work?
I wanted to, but then I realized game development is not just writing a story. Writing a story is a small part of it. You need to understand a lot more about game engineering. What are the things that you do, what you do not do. It's not simple as just sitting and writing. It's such a long creative process, and I thought I can't do this, but I get I see the game cinematics a lot. One that differentiates Kojima-san's game cinematics from others is the hard-hitting emotions that makes you involved with the characters very, very quickly. So that's one thing I noticed that is quite different. That differentiates him and other game developers.
技術的なことは僕が。
Thank you. I can take care of technical aspects. So if you're ever interested, let me know.
If he can take me as an assistant, I would happy to join.
いやいやいやいや。僕肩車。
Well, I will carry you on my shoulders.
It seems like something really fun could be created from the two of you.
うん、いやもうそりゃそうですよ。
Oh, yeah, for sure. It'll be like RRR and H for Hideo. So RRRHHH or RHRHRH. We should call it RH Games.
うんねえ、ラジャマウリ監督の喋り方がむっちゃ
The
キュ
way
ー
Mr. Rajamouli talks is very cute.
Yes, it is.
ト。あの人もあの時初めて会ったんですけど。
So that was actually my first time meeting him too.
But you guys really hit it off.
Yes, we did.
しましたね。
Hopefully, he will get an Academy Award.
そう、絶対なんか。
I think he will definitely get something. It makes me so happy that it became a big hit. I hope he gets an award.
It was a wonderful piece of work.
だからあれを見た日本の
I want Japanese creators to follow in his footsteps and work hard. It doesn't matter what country you're from.
Yes, it doesn't matter if you are from Hollywood or not, right? What about a collaboration between RRR and HHH?
その後、
I haven't met him since then, but I feel like we could get something going if we meet again.
I heard that you scanned him, right?
スキャンしました。
I did scan him.
Are you going to stick him in the game somewhere, getting a shoulder ride?
うん肩車して出てくると思います。
Yeah, he'll probably show up getting a shoulder ride. If you see someone on his shoulder, you'll know it's him. Maybe I'll be the one carrying him in the CG.
Mr. Kojima, you've been scanned too?
僕は前にしてますね。
Yeah, I scanned myself the last time around. Not this time, though. In the last game, I was the one that came out of the tar. It might be good to put Mr. Rajamouli on top of that. But maybe that's a little too obvious. Not enough twist.
Mr. Rajamouli seemed interested in making a video game, right?
そうだ
That's right. And he made that movie about the fly, right? He likes working with CG quite a bit.
It seems like something could work out here.
はい。
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I think everyone would love for that to become a reality. Let's see what happens from here on out. Should we listen to another song now?
フランツの曲なんですけど、
Yes, this next song is by Franz Ferdinand. This one isn't really that old. It's from their first album, which was released in 2004. They recently released a box set, so I bought it. He was going to come to Japan, or he already came?
Yes, he already came.
で僕昔ライブよ
I used to go to a lot of their concerts. But the reason I chose this song isn't just because I recently bought the box set, but because it was recently used as the opening theme song to the cyberpunk anime Edge Runners, so it's gotten popular again. The song we're going to play is called This Fire. This is the original version, not the cyberpunk version.
It's これでも18周年ですね。
It's the 18th anniversary of this song.
18 years. That's an odd number. It's not 20 years?
ちゃうんですね。
No, it's not 20. It's a 5 CD set, and there's actually a bonus track. I have so many of the same things, but I end up buying stuff when there's a bonus track. I also bought one that came with a tote bag.
There's one with a tote bag?
はい。で去年出たベスト
Yeah, and last year, the Greatest Hits album came with a t-shirt, so I bought that one too.
So you like collecting goods?
いや集めてるわけじゃなんかついてるのが
I wouldn't say I'm collecting them, but if there's some sort of bonus item, I think my generation is just materialistic. I want my albums to come with something. Same with Blu-rays that come with exclusive footage or a pamphlet or liner notes or...
I see. Will you include some bonus items with your next work?
DS のつけたいですね。
Oh, Death Stranding 2? I would like to.
You want to make a version with some sort of bonus items?
もう出したいですね。でもデジタル
Yeah, I would want to do that. But a lot of these are digital these days, like special items in the game. But I don't want to do that. I'd rather have something real, something you can touch.
What about an octopus?
タコル
Octopus Lou?
Yes, Octopus Lou.
タコルどうですかタコル
Ah, Octopus Lou.
Octopus Lou is pretty cute.
あ可愛いですかあれ
Oh, you think it's cute? We think so, but I don't know what people abroad think.
They probably think it's cute too.
まあちょっと不気味具合も欲しいんです
Well, I wanted it to be a little bit eerie too. We actually had a capsule toy of the BB pod, and I was thinking about making an octopus version this time. But I'm the only one that calls it Octopus Lou.
Its real name is different?
実は
Yes, actually in the DS2 teaser you saw Fragile, and then you have this red dude with a guitar, right? And I had thought about including Octopus Lou instead, but everyone was like, that might be tough. I thought it would be okay to use Octopus Lou anyway, but I ended up pulling back. I really did want to show it though, so I revealed it after our trailer announcement.
Yes, I saw your tweet. It was like you were giving us a little peek. Anyways, we got a bit off subject, but you just heard a song by Franz Ferdinand. You are listening to Hideo Kojima Presents Brain Structure. We're taking a look back at Season 1. Next, let's discuss the TGA Special, the episode where you addressed internet rumors.
あ、これもニュースになりましたね。
Oh, yes. That one made the news, didn't it?
Yes, it made the news internationally. Let's listen a bit to that conversation.
There was another big rumor that came out last year that I was sort of a part of too, and this was around a project which was codenamed Abandoned, and this was supposedly a survival horror game that was somehow maybe related to the game Silent Hill, and people somehow thought that I was involved in it, and maybe you were involved, Mr. Kojima. And I'm sure you must have heard about this, Hideo, at some point, right? When did you first hear about this supposed abandoned game?
いや、これね、最初わからなかったさ。
Well, this one I really didn't understand at first. The game is yet to be released, right? I don't think there's much he could do or say at this point, but if he releases the game, then people might understand. So maybe he should just hurry up and release it.
出したらいいんじゃないですかね。収まると思う。
It'll die down after that. Plus, I'm not involved with it in any way. I don't know who started this rumor. I think this is fake news based off of users' wishes and hopes. But now that there's been a buzz and things have gone viral, you should take advantage of it. If you create something good and share it with everyone, they will learn the truth. I think maybe that's what you should do. Fake news is a bad thing, but now that we've both gained attention from all of this, let's boost morale and create something good. Once they have made something, the users who play it will understand it's not Silent Hill, and I'm not involved, but they will still grow to love their game. I think there's a way to turn fake news around positively.
これは結構すごいニュースになりましたよね。
This really made headlines, didn't it? After that, the people working on Abandoned tweeted and said thank you, and I was like, good luck.
Did you know about that rumor before the episode?
いや、噂というかもういっぱい来るんですよ。
A lot of rumors reach my eyes and ears, like edited collages and stuff.
So in that episode, you were finally able to address the rumors.
というか僕がすると彼ら
Well,
に
I was worried that if I addressed the rumors, I might cause trouble for the people over at Abandoned, so I kept quiet for a while. But in the end, it turned out okay. They seemed happy that I addressed the rumors directly, too.
This episode was actually proposed by you, Mr. Kojima, in order to address rumors and reveal the truth, right?
まあ噂というか
You can call them rumors, but if we're being honest, and I don't really like calling it out like this, there's a lot of fake news out there, and some of it is directly sent to me. On Twitter, when people are just posting stuff, I don't see it all. But when they send them to me directly, it feels like they're dropping them to me personally in my mailbox.
Yes, the tweets with the @ mark mentioning you.
それをやめてほしいなと
I really wish people would stop that. It's fine to complain, like in your own living room, but don't do it where I can hear it. I wish people would stop directing those messages at me.
Was it a good episode for you then, since you were able to address that?
ただ
I mean,
まあ
yes,
この回にもあり
but
ましたけど
as I said in that episode, there are two types of rumors, malicious ones and users' hopes. The abandoned rumors were the hopes.
Yes, they were.
ただまあそうとはいえ
But even so, these messages come directly to me from all over the world. It's mentally exhausting.
You have a lot of followers too. If you addressed everything one by one, it would be endless.
まあ全部は見てませんけどたまにまあ目に入るん
Well,
ですよ
I don't look at all of them, but if I see them, I end up reading them. And then I feel pretty down about it.
Right. Everyone, let's stop saying stuff about people online. Shall we listen to another song?
はいこれ40周年じゃ39
Yes,
周年
this one wasn't a 40th anniversary album. It's actually 39. Planet P Project's album from 1983. I think there might be 2 discs. It's not really a band, it's a project. At the time, they were a big hit. I think the project name was inspired by Planet P from Highline's book, Starship Troopers. Their song, Why Me, was a big hit. I bought the album recently, even though I already had the 10-inch single LP. It inspired Death Stranding 2's Who Am I, Where Am I, How Come, and Why Me campaign.
There is a Why Me logo, isn't there?
ロゴでやってて Why me
So when working on it, and every time I use Why Me, I'm reminded of it. And well, Sam has the habit of asking why me, like whenever he's asked to go on a job. so I wanted to listen to the song with everyone. Here's the song Why Me by Planet P Project.
Must be 1,000 other places to be. Why me? The last man to be here was never heard from again.
この何十周年記
If you
念版
buy
を
the anniversary album, the extended version of this song is also on it, which is the version that was on the 10-inch LP I bought at the time of the original release.
I see. So the long version?
これシャレです。
Yeah, it's really cool.
So when you see the Death Stranding 2 Why Me image, you'll always think of this song.
そう思い出す。
Yes, you will.
Conversely, now when people hear this song, they may think of Death Stranding 2.
僕はそうですけどね。
That's true for me, at least.
So everyone, please add it to your playlist. You can listen to it on Spotify.
ブレインストラクチャー。
And now it's about time to wrap up.
Yes, thank you so much. This time, we took a look back at our previous episodes. What are your thoughts on this first season, Mr. Kojima?
なんかいろいろ無茶やってきましたね。
It was pretty crazy, huh?
There were a lot of great episodes, especially the conversations with other creatives.
対談ね。
The talks just sort of happened out of the blue, too.
It was your first time meeting many of those people, right?
そうですね。はい。
Yes, it was.
And you connected with some of those people when you visited LA.
まあそういう場にもしたいですよね。
Yes, I really want to do that again.
Are there a lot of people you want to invite on the show in season 2?
会いたい人はいっぱいいますね。
Yeah, there are a lot of people I'd love to meet. And there are a lot of famous people that said they would gladly make an appearance. And of course, some of them already did. But it's hard to schedule and whatnot. And when the talks are with people who are abroad, we have to do it over Zoom, which isn't ideal.
Face to face is better.
それがいいです。
Yes, it is. If I could do it like when I visited LA, that would be great.
Or maybe when they visit Japan.
ただ
But you know, we did a video version of the podcast recently. I wonder which is better.
I'd like to hear from the listeners. Watching a video is also quite fun.
いや映像を見た楽しみって何？
You're just watching my face, though. What's the fun in that? I'm not an idol or anything.
What are you talking about? But seriously, when you listen to somebody talking, sometimes you want to see their face to understand their expressions like their smiles.
なんかねチェックしたら腹出てるなとかそんなんばっかり思います。
But when I checked the footage, all I saw was my belly and stuff like that.
That's what you're looking at? That's not important.
だからまあこれはちょっと
Anyways, I wonder what direction season 2 will take. Recently, video podcasts seem to be the trend.
I think maybe it's both. In the US, there are a lot of people that only listen to podcasts.
そうなんですか。ポッドキャスターズ。
Oh, really? Are there people whose official job title is a podcaster?
Radio DJs are even moving over to podcast. And since America is a car-centric society, a lot of people can't watch and listen at the same time. That's why audio content is so important.
なんかね映像を
Some people will even play audio from videos and not watch the actual video.
Yes, that's right. Like YouTube videos.
そうそう日本
Yes, in Japan it's different, but I guess in the US, it's because people drive cars everywhere.
That's true. But even in Japan when you're riding on a train, and especially packed trains, you can't easily watch videos on your phone. So people want the audio content too.
そうですね。ただ音声じゃなくて
That's true. And if we quit the audio and switch to video, it would be hard for Taki.
Taki! That's the name of the show's director.
いや
It'll be hard to do all the editing.
But he knows how to edit video too, so I guess it just depends on what everybody wants.
映像だとどこで撮るんですかね。
Where will we record the video though?
There are tons of places to record at Kojima Productions.
ないですよ。
Nah, not really.
The green screen room, that Hollywood-style room.
緑の部屋でなんか場所。
We could record it with the green screen and edit it to look like we're in Paris or London.
Yes, and every time we could be like, where are we going today? And the Hollywood room has a mirror all the way to the ceiling, right?
ちょっと僕は声だけがいいです。
But I think I prefer just our voices.
Oh, really?
なんか Spotify の皆さんは
I got the feeling that people at Spotify prefer video though.
Well, maybe we can do both.
映像になるとちょっと凝りたくなるじゃない
I
ですか。
think with video, we're going to end up wanting to do more. And then, where will we stop?
You're thinking like a creator. Well, we would like to hear everyone's opinions on this, so please give us your feedback. The link to the message form is in the Spotify episode description. Should we listen to one last song as we end the show?
はい、ですね、最後はですね。
Yes. For our last song, I would like to play a song from an album released this year celebrating the 50th anniversary of Mike Oldfield's song, Tubular Bells from the movie The Exorcist. The song Tubular Bells is performed by a symphonic orchestra, and I bought the album. However, there's another song on the album that I love called Moonlight Shadow. It's not performed by Maggie, but by a different lady, and it's really good. So I'd like to play this as we end the episode. In commemoration of 50 years, here's Mike Oldfield's Moonlight Shadow.
次回の、Hideo Kojima Presents
See you again on next week's episode of Hideo Kojima Presents Brain Structure.
さようなら。
Couldn't find how to push through. I stay, I pray, I see you in heaven far away. I stay, I pray, I see you in heaven one day. I stay, I pray, I see you in heaven far away. I stay, I
Today's episode was a Brain Structure Season 1 recap. Looking back, we sure had a lot of amazing guests. Mr. Oshii, Mr. Jordan Peele, Mr. Rajamouli, just to name a few. There isn't a podcast like this anywhere else. I think I'll go back to the start and listen again from episode 1. And don't forget, you can send a message to our mailbox. On the next episode, we may be joined by another special guest. Who could it be? Stay tuned.